these systems are absolutely changing. I can see it happening every day. And I also know that you are part of the change, those of you listening to my podcasts. With you guys seeing the broken systems and being part of those broken systems, you're going to be able to have so much power and so much voice to become the change that is needed to help it grow in the healthy and loving way that they are beginning to start going. Namaste and welcome to Healing Her Spirit, a podcast dedicated to guiding the divine feminine on a journey of profound growth and self-discovery. This is a sanctuary for those seeking to heal their mind, body, and spirit from the wounds of the past and explore the powerful connection between spirituality and healing. Hosted by myself, Shelli, a spiritual wellness coach, we delve into the sacred process of overcoming trauma and nurturing the divine feminine energy within us all, regardless of gender. In each episode, I dive deep into the journey of growing through trauma, offering a blend of expert interviews, personal stories of resilience, and practical spiritual practices that empower you to rise above past wounds and begin creating the life of your dreams. Learn how to calm your nervous system, move beyond trauma responses, and embrace a life of peace and empowerment. Join us as we uncover the strength, wisdom, and beauty inherent in every soul, creating a supportive community of individuals committed to personal and collective evolution and transforming trauma into triumph. Let's take a couple of deep breaths, relax your body, and let's fall into this episode. Namaste and welcome back to Healing Her Spirit with myself, Shelli. Today I am feeling called to talk about deep-rooted issues within our societal systems, from education and healthcare to the environment and economy. We'll look at how these systems are failing us and how an awakened, empowered population can drive the change we so desperately need in society today. We're going to look at the importance of healing personal trauma to help to find your voice and to become a catalyst for positive transformation, and envisioning a future where our world is better and more beautiful for everyone. When I start to talk about these subjects in my personal realm, sometimes I get a little bit of pushback from people thinking that I'm a conspiracy theorist and I have a convoluted look on particular subjects, on particular things going on in the world. And I can assure you, whereas yes, there absolutely are some conspiracy theories in these same realms that I'm going to talk about, I'm not necessarily talking about any conspiracy theories. I'm talking about what I can see as a whole and how the world is not necessarily designed for the normal person to get ahead in life. I'm looking at these systems through eyes of love and light and seeing how they can become better to help us grow in life, in future, in wealth, in society, in every way. So please keep an open mind as to what I'm saying, okay? And let me preface this with a disclaimer saying that these systems are absolutely changing. I can see it happening every day. And I also know that you are part of the change, those of you listening to my podcasts. With you guys seeing the broken systems and being part of those broken systems, you're going to be able to have so much power and so much voice to become the change that is needed to help it grow in the healthy and loving way that they are beginning to start going. So I wanted to start off with talking about the education system. This system, super broken. We're pushing the curriculum on these children that doesn't support their natural God-given abilities. We're asking them to remember facts that aren't even true necessarily, since historical facts have been changed to push their narrative. And when I say there, I'm talking about the narrative of the broken matrix, okay? The old way of being, the old way of life, the matrix that is falling. Okay, Common Core is ridiculous. It's stupid. It makes no sense whatsoever. And why are we asking children to learn so much math when math is not even required in a lot of jobs? And why are we being raised to work? Why are we being told that we have to go to school so that we can go into the workforce? I would much rather be teaching my children how to make money in a ton of different ways. You don't have to necessarily work to make money. It's not a requirement. It is for the way that the matrix is designed right now, because it's designed to push out children that are factory workers, that have no thought process, that have no fostered creative arts. Why are we looking at knowledge as being the only valuable aspect of children? It's absolutely not. Things like gardening should be taught in schools. Things like making a living in other ways should be taught. There is a rigid curriculum that doesn't accommodate students who excel in different ways. There's also invasive and unsafe practices in locker rooms. That was one of the biggest things when I was a child. I did not want to do PE because I didn't like dressing down in front of other students, because it promoted bullying. There was so much bullying in the locker room. It definitely takes a toll on someone's confidence when you have other children laughing at the size of your breasts or the size of your butt. It's ridiculous. There's no privacy at all. Even the showers when I was in high school didn't have a curtain on it. You wouldn't see me taking a shower in that bathroom with the other girls that were just complete jerks at times. It was terrible. And now we're talking about mixing genders. What? No? You guys can't even take care of girls in girls' locker rooms, let alone adding boys into the locker room mixture. That's fucking incredible that we have even been discussing this or thinking that that's an okay thing for us to have. There seems to be no support on helping children emotionally and their social development, giving children tools to be able to interact with each other in a healthy manner and not bullying. And I can tell you what, most of the bullying actually that happened in my children's schools was from their teachers. They would tell the teachers that something was going on, and then they would be looked at as the bad guy and bullied so that they weren't so sensitive or whatever. The focus on standardized testing and Common Core standards prioritize memorization and test-taking skills over critical thinking, creativity, and individual learning styles. It's like a one-size-fits-all approach. These standardized methods ignore the diverse learning needs and natural talents of individual students, stifling creativity and discouraging unique problem-solving abilities. The competitive grading system, pitting students against one another, which leads to high stress and anxiety and a sense of inadequacy among the students who do not perform well in that particular subject. Also, historical curriculums often present a biased and incomplete view of historical events, promoting a particular narrative while ignoring or representing other perspectives and facts. Not to mention that the historical events that have actually occurred are not even being talked about. And most of these schools are continuing to teach outdated lecture-based teaching methods that don't help engage the students or cater to different learning styles. Gives them a lack of motivation. Schools often fail to teach practical life skills like financial literacy, critical thinking, emotional resilience, and leave students completely unprepared for real-world challenges. The emphasis on school is to promote college preparation, to continue their education, to continue another math class that they're not going to ever freaking use, to teach a history class with inaccurate history. The school system just completely promotes peer pressure and burnout and mental health issues among students. 8 hours of school, and then they have homework, and ignoring individual passions. The high pressure environment often forces these students to focus on activities and subjects they're not passionate about, rather than exploring their true interests and talents. I want my children's God-given talents to be flourished, to help my children to see where they can take their God-given talents and help make the world better. Not be stuck in a classroom for their entire freaking life, pounding out tests, getting graded on how good they are, book-wise. I know a lot of people don't agree with me on this because people are so conditioned that we have to teach our children how to work. Let's teach them how to work so they can make a living. Why don't we teach these children how to live their lives in every way, not just how to get into the workforce? Nope, not the only way to make a living. I can tell you that right now. It's not. It is for their narrative, to push their narrative, absolutely, and push the way that they want the matrix to go. That's absolutely not the way that it's going any longer. People are starting to see that the school system is completely broken. Not to mention, we're handing our children over to people that are completely inept with keeping them safe. The safety precautions that they've put together for any kind of school shootings or anything, phenomenally stupid. It really is. I've come up with a million different ideas, actually not a million, but a few ideas of how to keep our children safe in the school atmosphere. And not to mention, why are so many people pissed off at the school system that they're going in and shooting up our children? They're not mad at our children. They're mad at the system. I'm going to move away from the education system right now because I could go off on this forever. I can just tell you that the amount of anxiety that my children alone have gone through the school system is evidence enough for myself to see that the system's broken. Our children should not be pressured so much that they are anxious to go to school because of not only the curriculum, but the people, bullying. It's just phenomenal, crazy. The next system I'd like to talk about is food preparation and the FDA. We know our food is poisonous to us. It's absolutely poisonous to us. And there's those of us that work at the FDA. There's those that work at the warehouses. There's those that have the ability to make some changes where they're at in their career at the moment. So if you work at a warehouse and you see these harmful chemicals being put in, you have a voice. You can do something about it. And I know that it's not going to be something that's going to get fixed like tomorrow. Absolutely not. All of these systems have been broken for a long time and will take a long time to fix. But we're getting to a point in the world where we're being able to talk about these things more openly and without being looked at like we're conspiracy theorists, because our food making us so sick is so obvious. It's literally happening right in front of our eyes, and we have so much that we can do about it. We can make a change for sure. Also, hygiene products, all of it, anything consumable, any food products, any consumable products, super bad for us. Systems are changing and need to be changed for absolute sure. The healthcare system. Why are we pushing so many pharmaceuticals? Does anybody know this? Look it up. Pharmaceuticals are made with petroleum products. Petroleum products are owned by the Rockefellers. You can do your own research. It's freaking out there. The healthcare system promoting pharmaceuticals over holistic methods did not start happening until the early 1900s. There's a reason for this. There's a reason that this narrative was being pushed. We are being made to be sick so that we stay within these healthcare systems. Okay, a ton of diseases, even cancer was pretty much unheard of before the rollout of pharmaceuticals into the healthcare industry. I'm not contributing at all necessarily to the healthcare industry, but the things that were introduced, a lot of materials, plastics and such that were introduced in the late 1800s, early 1900s contributed to a lot of our diseases today. It jumped from 18% to 63% of people have cancer now. Again, look it up. It's factual. I'm not spewing out unproven facts here. There's evidence behind all of this stuff. Also, corporate exploitation. Oh my gosh, this is where I have a really hard time. We are being overworked and underpaid. I can tell you, the last place I worked, I could no longer work anymore because they were firing people left and right and then handing their job requirements over to someone else, doubling their work and not offering them any more pay. And being told that if they didn't do it, the company could go under and it's going to be their fault. No, bullshit. Not to mention the fact that all of our products, all of the merchandise, anything in the world that is being sold for a profit, including food and hygiene products, are not made as well. The quality of the product has gone down, but the price of the product has gone up. I was in heating and air. I was in heating and air for quite a few years, and I could tell you that the products, the heating and air systems, would work before for 30 or 40 years. And when I got back into it, the lifespan of those heating and air units went down to 10 to 12 years. Why are we making them worse, but charging a buttload more? That doesn't make sense to me. I hope it doesn't make sense to you. Also, water contamination and privatization. Our water is contaminated. There's ways to fix it so it's not contaminated anymore, but they decide that they're not going to do it that way. They're going to do it this way, and that causes even more pollution. And I don't know how many times here in California, how many years we have been in a quote-unquote drought when we have plenty of water, but we sell it. And then we tell everybody in this area that, oh, well, we don't have enough because it didn't rain. You liars. We absolutely had enough rain. You sold it. It's ridiculous. And there's so many pharmaceuticals that are in our water sources at the moment. Get rid of pharmaceuticals. Stop using them. There's no reason why we should use them. Find a holistic practitioner. Start weaning yourself off of pharmaceuticals and go holistic on everything. That does not contaminate our water source. Also, artificial food shortages. Paying farmers off to burn down their crops and telling them that if they don't burn it down, that they will burn it down. But if they do burn it down, they will give them money for it. And then say that we don't have enough food to feed the public. Well, that was definitely designed on purpose. Not to mention the absolutely toxic pesticides that are put on our foods, on our fruits and vegetables. Those pesticides are designed to create havoc on our hormones so that we gain weight and have acne and have all these problems with us. Inflammation, diabetes, it all plays a part in our health. Also, energy monopolies. Energy's free. Tesla created a free energy source, and then his inventions were all taken and hidden and suppressed. Another one that gets my goat is property ownership. Do you know that you don't own your property? Your property belongs to the government. You have to pay taxes on it. Your property can be completely freaking paid off, but you have to pay property taxes on your own property. And who gave the government control of all property on earth anyways? Whose decision was that? Not to mention the fact that they came in here, killed all of the Indians, told us Europeans, whatever, wherever you came from, oh, come on over here to America and you can build your family and your home here, and then get murdered, slaughtered by Indians because they think that we're coming in here trying to take their stuff. It was offered to us through the government. We didn't mean any harm. We were trying to live ourselves and told that there's all this available property in America, and then we get slaughtered by Indians and have this huge war between each other, which is absolutely ridiculous. History being told wrong. Also, gas industry. There's so many alternative fuel methods that don't make a terrible environmental impact. Fuel, again, petroleum product, again, Rockefellers. Need I say any more? Also, our recycling system. Do you know that only 9% of stuff that you put into recycle is actually being recycled? Do you know that most of everything that is intended to be recycled is being dumped into the oceans? Did you also know that a ton of products that are put on those large barges to ship them to different countries, wherever, the way that they pack them, super pack them on these barges, they're losing the products right into the ocean? And then, of course, because those products were lost at sea, they're going to say that the cost needs to be driven up to help the company. These corporations are making hand over fist profits and giving the profits to the CEOs and not at all benefiting the general public in any way, shape, or form. And then we've got to go jump in and create the cleanup efforts, and not only do the cleanup, but we also have to get donations from the general public to do the cleanup. And one of the last systems that I wanted to talk about that's broken is the government's complicity in human trafficking. Why? Why is the government so involved in human trafficking? Not just child trafficking. Children are a big part of it, are a huge part of it. And also for organs. Humans are trafficked for organs, selling organs on the black market. Why is this not being stopped? It should have been stopped years ago. This has been a problem that's been ongoing for years and years and years. There's absolutely no reason why the government should be involved in any type of human trafficking or child trafficking. And if you say that they're not, you're stupid. Okay, because ignorance is not bliss. I'm telling you right now, children come up missing all the time. Doesn't matter what race, they come up missing all the time. It's disgusting. I cannot believe that it has gone on as long as it has, and the government is complicit in it, bottom line. And these are just some of the systems that are broken or things that are broken in the world today. And I said earlier that we have a voice now, whereas it was being muffled before, people were being hurt before for speaking out. That's changed. It's a lot more safe now to have a voice in the world today and start fixing some of these things. So my job, I have been tasked with showing you all how to heal your mind and body so that you can raise up and realize that you have power to change all of these systems. The systems are not going to be changed through any type of event like a civil war. It's going to be changed through love. That is my vision. That is what I've seen, and that is what I am a part of. You may not agree with me on all of these, and I don't blame you. Absolutely don't blame you at all. Some may sound a little far-fetched or crazy to you, but if anything resonated with you, I implore you to do more research so that you can decide if you in fact do believe me and would like to do something about it yourself from wherever you are in your life. Because we all are in different walks of life. There are people that are going to take my program that are in the legal system, that are in the IRS, that are working at the state level. We're going to be changing the systems from the bottom up. I have heard quite a few personal stories of awakening and empowerment that are crucial in shedding light on these broken systems. Individuals who have navigated these systems and found them lacking often share their experiences and expose the gaps and inefficiencies. The stories provide powerful testimonies that can drive change, illustrate how systematic failures have personally affected their lives and their own healing journeys. By sharing their struggles and triumphs, they empower others to recognize similar patterns in their own lives and advocate for better support structures. These narratives also humanize the issues, making the need for reform more relatable and pressing. Healing from trauma equips individuals with the strength and clarity needed to challenge and advocate for the overhaul of these broken systems. As people heal, they often gain a better understanding of how systematic issues have contributed to their trauma. This realization can fuel a desire to speak out and demand change. Healing empowers individuals to use their voices effectively, whether through activism, public speaking, or community organizing. They become advocates for policies and practices that prioritize mental health and trauma-informed care. Their advocacy can lead to the development development of more compassionate and effective systems that truly support healing and well-being, ultimately fostering a society that values and protects the mental health of all its members. I also told you guys earlier I can see these systems changing. I absolutely do. For instance, COVID. When COVID occurred, I saw quite a few doctors and nurses that saw what was actually going on in the world and decided to pull out of the healthcare system and start their own clinics. And the narrative that they try to push to pit us against each other, to pit races, different races against one another, the men versus women, it's disgusting to see them trying to do this. The news media is complicit in this. I'm super glad that you joined me today on this episode, and I hope that you keep an open mind to it. We are all in this together. I will see you in my next episode, and I hope you have a wonderful, beautiful day. Bye.